inquiry to another. Former KZN Hawks boss Johan Booysen believes he was falsely charged and pushed out after he began investigating the business interests of Jacob Zuma's son.
Well, he was testifying at the Mokgoro inquiry yesterday, which is looking into Mokgoro and Senior Prosecutor Lawrence Mokgoro's fitness to hold office.
Well, Booysen told the commissioner Edward Zuma paid him a visit after Booysen froze a payout of 15 million rand to Toshin Pandey. He's a business partner of the Zumas. Well, Govan Whittles.
Colleague Govan Whittles is following that commission. Morning, Govan.
Morning, Govan. Well, tell us a little bit more about what Johan Booysen had to say. And we know for years and years and years he's always said something is not right. I'm being forced out. And we know how he was treated basically by the likes of Mokgoro. So let's get some insight into what exactly he says was going on at the time.
Yes, it's been about 7 years since these claims against him have been going on, and yesterday he basically laid out what he believes was behind his exit from the Hawks, and it stems from that deal you specified or mentioned, the deal with Toshin Pandey. So basically Toshin Pandey got a 60 million rand contract from the SAPS, and 40 million had already been paid out, and Johan Booysen started investigating just as this 15 million rand payout was going to happen, and that's where the connection to former President Jacob Zuma's son comes in. Edward Zuma is a silent partner of Toshin Pandey, and he visited Johan Booysen at his offices, quite unprecedented, asking him to release the money. And a few weeks after that, Johan Booysen also intercepted phone calls between former President Jacob Zuma's nephew, Dibo Mzobe, and Toshin Pandey, where they were saying that Johan Booysen's wings would be clipped. And it's based on this that Booysen believes he was later pushed out of the Hawks. Of course, he left the Hawks after he was charged with racketeering. And I have to mention, he still faces a charge of murder and racketeering related to the Cato Manor Violent Crimes Unit.
Where does the Mokgoro link come in?
She's the one that authorized those charges of murder and racketeering against Johan Booysen. Racketeering is one of the most serious charges you could be slapped with in South Africa. It faces a fine of 1,000 million or billion rand and no less than 30 years imprisonment. So it's based on this that Johan Booysen thinks that they tried to basically slap him with the worst offense to make sure that he's out of the way and that investigation stalls.
And we have seen stories in the past year or so, because we spoke to him on this show last year, Johan Booysen.
Yeah, late last year, sitting right
his
there
name.
on the couch.
Yes, when it came to the Cato Manor issues and talking about, you know, stories revealing exactly what happened, and like, you know, it wasn't, and the reports, those who reported falsely on this, am I right, on those things? So
yeah, he was talking here, by the way, just to remind our viewers about that apology that also came from the Sunday Times, and he was offered an opportunity to clarify his position around the Cato Manor allegations.
And how loosely reported it was, I suppose, the story.
Yesterday he gave some insight into how he actually knew the person, the famous statement by Mr. Danikas, the person who has since fled to Greece, and saying that this was someone who was a police reservist, and in Johan Booysen's words, thought he was on Miami Vice, would go into Durban city centre and go look for drug lords, and many a times Johan Booysen would end up having to go into the city to kind of rescue him. Obviously now he's made that statement, but yesterday at the inquiry that statement still wasn't signed.
Okay, that was yesterday. What do we expect is who's next on that stand now at the Mokgoro inquiry?
Yeah, today we're going back to last week. That's because Willie Hofmeyr's cross-examination didn't finish. He's the deputy NPA boss at the moment, and he was scathing, if you can remember. He said the NPA was led into a state of disaster and left rudderless under the leadership of Mokgoro and Lawrence Mokgoro. So Mokgoro's advocate Norman Arendts already cross-examined him. Today it'll be the turn of advocates for Lawrence Mokgoro to put Willie Hofmeyr's claims to the test, specifically that Lawrence Mokgoro interfered in these commercial crimes cases and the Mdluli case, which has really been the test case here at this inquiry.
So what happens, Govan, with the crossover from the state capture inquiry? Because we saw these names, and that's Mokgoro and Lawrence Mokgoro. What was it, the snake and the snail, or whatever it was that he called them, from Angelo Agrizzi, and chances, and we're wondering whether he's now going to appear before the Mokgoro inquiry to elaborate on them and what he had to say.
Yeah, of course, Agrizzi said that Lawrence Mokgoro got 10,000 rand a month and Jiba got 100,000 rand. So the State Capture Commission has already received a formal request from the Mokgoro inquiry for the affidavits. Those affidavits have arrived. Now, Angelo Agrizzi has been handed a letter requesting him to appear at the Mokgoro inquiry. Of course, he has the option to say no, because unlike the State Capture Commission, this doesn't have subpoena powers. So they've put a polite request for Agrizzi. If he says yes, it'll be the first time that Agrizzi is subjected to cross-examination, especially by Lawrence Lawrence Mokgoro and Mokgoro Jiba. These are senior advocates. Advocate Mervyn Rip and Advocate Norman Arends are really doing their utmost to defend the two other advocates. So if he does say yes, it could be quite a shock.
It's going to be interesting to see, especially because whatever evidence was presented at the Zondo Commission of Inquiry regarding this particular two advocates has been handed to the Mokgoro inquiry in paper. Let's see what Mr. Angelo Agrizi will decide. Thank you very much, Governor.
Thanks, Governor.